Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. I'm going to start this video in medias res. In the middle of, early on, very early on in yesterday's solve, I made a horrendous error. Rightly called out for it in the comments. You don't need to say bad solve. I know it was. So I was at this point in this thermo puzzle from Allagem, which also had the rule that no orthogonally adjacent pair of digits sums to 10. And I then went badly wrong. First of all, I made the correct conclusion that in this column, 8 now has to be in one of these two cells. And that was true enough. But then I very, very foolishly thought that 7 was confined to the end of the thermo, or down here, and therefore that 7 was confined to these cells, thus missing that there was a 7 possibility in this orange odd cell. And that was the difference between 8 and 7, was 8 couldn't be in this cell, but 7 could. So I had absolutely no right to confine 7 down there. However, as was pointed out by somebody very quickly and very helpfully, a conclusion I reached fairly soon after actually allows one to state that. So let me just take you through what I should have done at this point. I should have realized that since 2 is confined to one of those cells in box 2, you can see from the pencil marks they're the only 2 cells it can be in. 3 can't be in either of those cells as a result. I did work that out later, but not as part of this process. The reason that you couldn't put 2 and 3 in these 2 cells is what would you put in the bulbs? You can't put 1 in them both. So since 3 can't be there, 3 has to be in one of these cells, and therefore 7 can't be in this one because of the rule about not being next to 3. Because they mustn't add up to 10. So in fact, I could at that point have taken 7 out of this cell and then continued on my merry way, putting 7 in one of those cells, and the solve would have then continued exactly as it should have done. So sincere apologies. This is the peril with live solving. We bring you a live solve every video, and sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes I have to find the mistake and backpedal. And if the 7 had been right there, I would have had quite a long way to backpedal, I imagine. But it wasn't necessary yesterday because I didn't find the mistake in the logic, because it turns out this cell wasn't a 7. But I am, as always, grateful for the comments. I am, as always, happy to apologize to Allagem for messing up the beginning of his puzzle. I mean, I shouldn't have taken any longer. I should have been able to spot this thing with the 2s and 3s quite quickly. But there we go. Fallibility, thy name is man. And thy name is Mark yesterday. So this gives me a good opportunity to... Simon sometimes likes to get his revenge. I occasionally recommend he opens a puzzle on screen which has a very interesting opening grid, like yesterday's Schrodinger's cat, which was brilliant. And today he's sent me a link to a puzzle that I am going to open on screen. So we'll get to that in a moment. I do, however, need to trail the Jewels of Osiris, the brilliant Demono sudoku hunt, treasure hunt, effectively, that is available on Patreon. We're very proud of it. We're delighted that Demono has kind of collaborated with us. I mean, almost literally, we're characters in the story. It's worth a read, if only to see those. And it's a brilliant long story together with some intricate Sudoku that's great fun. Do check it out. Join us on Patreon if you haven't already. You have until the 20th to enter the competition that's explained. And yeah, we're really... Well, we will be running a roll of honour of the people who have achieved solving the full hunt. And yeah, we're really looking forward. I mean, the reaction we've been getting already actually has been brilliant. So I'm sure there'll be more as more people solve it. So that is going on Patreon. What else have we got going on? We've got all our apps, and There is both Thermo Sudoku. I don't know what I'm doing today, but I bet there's an app that covers something like it. I don't know. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't. But the apps are brilliant. There's a couple of gas apps for genuinely approachable Sudoku. Loads of content, as always, there in the apps, on Patreon, and of course on Discord. So all the links are under the video. However, the first link will be, I hope, to the puzzle I'm about to connect to here. So I'm going to enter this link Simon has given me and see what we get. Gilded Cages by James Kopp. Oh, that is a very minimalist grid. Now, that is often the way with these puzzles you open blind. Not maybe the Schrödinger's cat, but look at that. There's almost nothing in the grid. There's better be a rule to help, because if it's just a diagonal line and 2 cages, and we do have a killer Sudoku app, then it couldn't possibly be uniquely solvable. Gilded Cages by James Kopp. So here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we will be putting 1 to 9 in every row, column and box. Digits do not repeat on the marked diagonal. I expected that. Digits in a cage do not repeat, and their sum is given. We've only got 1 line of rules left now to actually make this solvable. Each digit inside a cage is consecutive with its orthogonally adjacent neighbours outside the cage. So that digit will be consecutive with that one and that one and that one. Not with its neighbours inside the cage. That would actually be impossible for the 17, I think. Wow, that is going to make this able to be disambiguated with a unique solution. That is incredible. How can that rule do that? Well, I mean, I guess we're going to find out. Give it a try yourself on the link under the video. I'm gobsmacked by that. I really am amazed. Is that true? James Kopp does come up with the most extraordinary puzzles sometimes, but normally because of the picture in the grid or what he's celebrating, stuff is baked in. But this, if this is right, this is like a discovery or something. Wow. Okay, let's stop the further ado and let's get cracking. I mean, I may never solve this, but what the heck is going on? Each digit inside a cage is consecutive with its orthogonally adjacent numbers outside the cage. Okay, what I could do here, I'm going to draw some lines. Yeah, I'm going to draw some lines to show the consecutive relationships. Every time I draw a line, look, this is a string, isn't it? Or is it? Yes, it is. Okay, sorry. I'm going to finish drawing the lines, and I'm going to try and explain what I see as a string here. I've missed one. I think that's it. I mean, that's like I've got something coming out of every angle of every cage there. So that is the list. In a way, these are kind of hidden relationships. Maybe I should have put white crop key dots in to understand this better, but I don't think I have the facility within the pen tool to do exactly that. So this is what I'm doing. And every orange line, every link on these orange lines is showing a consecutive relationship. Now, I believe that this is a chain of digits because this one is consecutive with those two. So these are different and they have the same parity. So they might be, for instance, 2 and 4. And they would be linked by a 3 here. And that being the case, if you had a 2 there and a 3 here, this would be a 1. Because once you get these 3 in a row where that has neighbours that see each other, you're on a sequence. And I think that sequence continues round the corner because effectively those two see each other by being in the same cage. Also, that digit is going to be the same as that, because this sequence of 3 digits is the same as this sequence of 3 digits. Okay, I'm going to start in the 15 cage, because 15 is further from the average total than 17 is. The average total is kind of 5 being the average sudoku digit times the number of cells, so the average total for one of these 4-cell cages would be 20. This was one of the things I thought when I opened it, is these numbers, you know, if that said 10 and that said 30, you'd at least know what the fill was, and you don't get that kind of help at all. Right, here's another observation that may help. Every one of the cells in these cages can't be an extreme digit, can't be a 1 or a 9, because they each are on a sequence in which there is therefore basically a higher and a lower neighbour. So, so the available digits for this cage are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you had 2, 3, 4 in this cage, in fact, there is only way to make this cage up out of 4 different digits from that, and it is 2, 3, 4, 6. Wow. So there's a start. This cage is made up of 2, 3, 4, 6. These two have the same parity. And there's 3 even digits and 1 odd, so they're both even. So now I'm going to colour. Am I going to regret choosing orange lines? No, that's all right. Or O for odd, E for even. So those aren't 3s. They are a pair that are 2 apart. So they include a 4. So there's no 4 in the rest of the cage. This digit is 3 or 5 to link this pair. And is that the same as this one? Yes, it is. That digit is the same as this one. Give them a little yellow flash just in case that helps. Probably won't. To show they're the same digit. Oh, this is weird. Now, is there one of them that can't be a 2? No, I don't think there is. Maybe one of these two can't also be even. I don't know. I feel like we've made some discovery already, 5 minutes in. I mean, I know what the constituents of this cage. This one's going to be harder to determine because there are very many more ways of filling that. Okay. If this was even, it's 2 or 6. Right. In the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which I think must cover all of the digits touched by lines here. They're all from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In that sequence, this digit is 2 or 6, and one of these is going to be one of the extreme digits, 1 or 7, which means that this can't be that extreme digit. It could be the other one. I don't know what that proves. No, this can't be a 3. No, hang on. Oh, bother. One of these is 4, but I don't know which one. Now, if that was a 4, this can't be a 3, because that would have to have a 4 on one of its sides or the other. However, if this is a 4, how would this be a 3? This couldn't be a 2, because that would have 2 and 4 on its sides. Right, if this is a 3, that is a 2-4 pair. That's a 6. This is going to go 5, 4, 3. Oh my, okay, that's a bit complicated. No? No, I was going to say that couldn't be a 2 in that case, but actually I don't think that's right. If this is a 3, that is a 2-4 pair. This is a 6. That's 4. This has to be 2. Right, if that's a 3, this is 3 and 1. And that's a 5, but it would be a 5. Oh, no, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I think it works. Is there a reason this can't be 3? This would be 2 or 4. This would be a 2, 3, 4, 6 set. In fact, whichever of these is a 3, there is a 2, 3, 4 set, 2, 3, 4, 6 set formed using it. I don't think that's actually very helpful, but so if that's a 3, and this is a 2-4 pair. Now what does that do? I don't know, because I don't know which one of these is a 4. Oh, am I meant to jump across here? Now, in this box, I don't think this diagonal's any use at the moment. In box 5, we've got a set here that is either 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 6, 7. I don't think it's useful to jump across here. Okay, I need to do more thinking about this. There must be a way, well, I guess there is a way of working out which orientation is right and which one is wrong. Now, I thought it felt more constrained if that was a 2. If that's a 2, you've got a 1-3 pair here. You've got 4, 6 here. That has to be 5 or 7, so it would have to be 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That would have to be 1. 1, 3, 5, 6. Oh, I can't work this out. This is so complicated now. If this was a 3, maybe I should start with it being a 6. That feels weird though. That doesn't feel like... No, let's start with this being where the 3 is. 3 is in one of those two positions. Let's assume it's here. Then those are a 2-4 pair. At which point, given that this is a 3, that is a 6. It sees the 2 and 4. And that, okay, let's put these in as pencil marks. That's a 6. This one can't be 5. That's a 7. That's a 5. That's 4. That's 3. That's 5. This has become a 2. The 1 and 3 here, they do work. I was wondering if maybe they don't. And this one, that has to be the 4. That's the 2. This, that doesn't work. Right. And this is, okay, I sort of, well, I mean, clearly I had to put in the digits to understand that, but it is required to be understood. So, if this is a 3, this 2-4 pair is interesting now. that 3 is going to put a 2, well, it's going to make this, because of that 2-4 pair, that has to be a 6. This is the important point. If that's a 3, this becomes a 6. Then this has to go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, with a 4 here. Wow. Now, at this point, you get a 2 here on the 3 link, and that makes that a 2. But now you've got 2, 3, 6 here, and that can't even be filled. Yeah, that's right. If this is a 3, your 2-4 pair there makes that a 6, which makes this a 4, which makes this a 2, which makes this a 2, and that 2, 3, 6 stops that being filled. That is complicated. I think that's probably the only way, but it stops this being the 3. This is now even. Hopefully, the solve gets a bit easier after that. This is a 3. There's my first digit in the grid. And that's huge for this to be a 3 suddenly, because, not because of the colouring, which I am continuing for now, but those cells are a 2-4 pair. This has now become a 5. That's the same with the yellow flash as that one. Let's get rid of the yellow flash now. This is now a 4-6 pair, touching the 5. This is the 2 in the cage. We're getting loads of digits now. 4 there, 2 there. That sees the 4, so that's 6. Then we've got our sequence done. This 2 sees a 3 and a 1. And look, we've got all of the lined digits around this box completed now. Wow. That's mad. Now, in the central box, we've got a 3, 4, 5. So what's this sequence? It's either 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9. It's like a Renban element. So that is 7 or 8 in the middle of it. Now, the only digits we can use to fill these cells are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What are the possibilities? I might use this little segment as an aide-memoire area. I don't know how many we're going to need, but we've either got a 7 or an 8 in it. And we can't use 1. Oh, interesting. Right, so if it's with a 7, it's 7, 5, 3, 2. 10, making up the other 10 without a 1 has to be 5, 3, 2. If it's with an 8, it's 2, 3, 4. So these are the only possible fills now. What are their odd even? Oh, that has 3 odds and 1 even. That has 3 evens and 1 odd. And these two have to be the same parity. Okay, let's use different colours for the parities here. Green and purple. Oh, but is this going to be different? I don't know how the pattern matching is going to work with the other stuff. I will add, by the way, that even if I can work out what all of these digits are, I am still gobsmacked that the diagonal line is then going to be enough to disambiguate this whole grid. That's incredible. Apparently it's true though. So we have to have a 2 and a 3 in these cells. And those are the same parity. So this must be one of them, mustn't it? Because 2 and 3 are different parities. They can't both go in these cells. So this is 2 or 3. That's true. These are either a 1-3 pair or a 2-4 pair. And that's from the same crowd of digits. Now, I suppose these are either a 6-8 pair or a 7-9 pair. Ah, look at that little 3-4 cluster. That means that 3 and 4 in this column are in these 3 cells, and at least one of them is on this line. Maybe both. That doesn't really help, actually, does it? Well, no, it doesn't. It does mean this cell can't be a 1. The only digit, I have this 3 pointing there. Is that helpful? No, it literally isn't, because this couldn't be a 3. This is a sequence of 5 digits again. It's worth remembering that. Right, it may be this 5 looking at that. So if this went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we know which way round. So if that was a 2-4 pair, and it is either a 2-4, oh, this is either a 2-4 or a 3-5 pair, because if that's a 7, these are both odd and they are 3-5. If that's an 8, these are both even and they're 2-4. That's interesting. So they're either 2-4 or 3-5. This cell is either 3 or 4. But if it was a 3, we'd have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 set here. And we couldn't have 5 there, so we'd have to have 5 here. That looks very plausible, actually. Pity. Now, the alternative is that this is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 set. So maybe I have to do something again with these, although there's a lot less similarity in this 17 cage with these digits. Now, hang on, that's 2 or 3. These two are the same. Might as well. I'm just going to move my aide-memoire a bit further away. Sorry, it's just getting in the way, and I don't want to get mixed up with these digits. But that is the same as that. And that is the same as that. Does that help at all? Doesn't really look like it does it? Now, there was that 3-4 pair. Oh, 5s! Look at that! Those 2 5s. We need a 5 in this row. It's got to be here. Ah! Pencil marking was working. I just couldn't see it. Oh, we're in business now. Right. Those 5, and I think it's going to be a 3. They're odd. These purple cells are even. And we know the sequence. This is a 3. It goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 4. The cage contains 2, 3, 5, 7. Let's get rid of the aide-memoire. That is a 7. That's a 2. The 7 is odd, as are the digits surrounding the 2. I don't know. Those are even. Now, this one isn't a 6, so it's an 8. That's a 6. This is a 1-3 pair. And this is a 1 or a 3, but clearly not a 3. So that's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 1. Let's get rid of the crazy bits of colouring. I don't even think we're going to need the remaining blue and orange. But here we are now. Now, this needs a 2 on it. That's there. And a 1, 9. I can do those as well. 2, 1, 9 on the diagonal. This cell can't be 7 or 8. This one on the diagonal can't be 9. I'd hoped more would be eliminated. Okay, how do we go about completing the rest of this puzzle? Right, we'd put a 4 into row 5 there. Or rather into box 6. That's how I did that. So that's a 7, 8, 9 triple. This is a 6. Let's do the sudoku. Oh, I mean, the rest is sudoku, or, you know, slightly diagonal sudoku. So, what an incredible thing this grid is. Now, can I finish these columns? They didn't look so easy. 2, 3, 5, 4, 9. 1, 6, 8, 7 up here. Oh, look at this digit. This is a brilliant naked single. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the row. 5, 6, 7 in the column. 9 on the diagonal. That's an 8. So that's not an 8. Can I do any more? This one sees 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8, 9 on the diagonal. This one sees 1, 2, 3, 7 and 8, 9 on the diagonal. So I'm going to get a 3 in the corner, but I don't know which corner yet. We'll have a song at some point. There's a 1 in one of those cells. There's a 4 in one of those. There's a 4 somewhere here. There's a 6 somewhere there. This, I don't know. This feels very bitty now. 2, 1. Oh, there's a 1 in one of those two. 4, 3, 1, 6, 2. Okay, well, does it matter that there's a 3 in the diagonal? That stops there being a 3, sorry, on the end of a diagonal somewhere. That stops there being a 3 here. Oh, there are some weird bits of diagonal logic that we might still, at this point in this incredible puzzle, need to crack it. And that, frankly, if that's true, that's just going to elevate this puzzle even further in my estimation. These are from 5, 6, 7, 9. Right, what is restricted on the diagonal? 5 is not very restricted. 4 is either there or there. Okay, that's nice, because they both see this cell, which can't be a 4. Yes, that's good. That's really good, because that means if this can't be a 4 in box 1, the 4's in row 1, and with that 4 there, we now need a 4 in one of these 3 cells, and it has to be here, and that's on the diagonal, so it's not 4 in that corner. Gosh, that's a hard-fought 4. 8, 1, 9, 2, 4. So everything else on the diagonal is 3, 6, 5, or 7. Now, can I do the same trick with 6, which is limited to those 2 cells? Not really. I mean, that says 6 can't be here. I don't know. I feel like I'm almost no further forward. 7, 6, 5, 8. We've got a 1. I was just searching around. I don't know how we finish this. 8, 2, 3. So what else did this 4 give me? It didn't really add to anything else. That couldn't be a 4. Where's 2? Look, can I place 2 in this box? I can. Yes, I can. It's straightforwardly here because it's not on the diagonal. And that places 1 in the box. Gosh, that takes some spotting for me. Sorry if you've been shouting about the 2 up there. We get a 1 in one of those 2. Now that 2 is going to be in one of these cells. Really hasn't tidied up anything on the diagonal. Oh, 5 is looking at that. This has never been available. This has always been a 7. Ah, that's what you've been shouting. There it was. So none of those can be 7. 7's on the diagonal. 7 also can't be in those 2. So this is now a 3, 5, 6 triple on the diagonal. 6. Oh no, I've looked at that. Okay, don't know what that's doing. Now, what about this 7? That's putting a 7 in one of those 2. 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4. These are from 3, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 1, 7. 5, 6 or 9, 5, 8 or 9 here, yes. 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 4. This is also 5, 8 or 9. And this is 5, 6, 8 or 9. This isn't really helping. I need to find some other smarty pants bit of stuff. Or maybe again some cell that is being looked at by a digit I know all about. I just can't spot. Oh, this is tricky. Oh, 2. No, 2 is there. Where's 2 in this box? Not in those cells. Off the diagonal. So, yeah, maybe that's the way to look at it. What's on the diagonal? Only from 3, 5, or 6. 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9 are all off the diagonal here. This is a good puzzle. Possibly a great puzzle. And I was giving it a decent solve until I broke down, latterly. This is annoying. Come on. 2, 8, 7, 3, 4. That or that. Those is a 4. Is it the 3 in the corner? What? Which one is a 3 in the corner? There must be an 8 in those cells in this row. 4, 8. 3. Oh! 3 in this box is in the corner. Just in this box. It must be, yes. Here is our party. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion and finishing off the diagonal. And now I've got a 7, 9 pair there, and that's a 6. This is going to do all the good in the world. This is going to get me home, I think. That is so bizarre. There's a 6 in one of those cells. I don't know which one. 7, 9, 8, 6, 5. This isn't a 6. We've got... That is a 2 or a 3. 5 and 6. 5 is looking at that cell. Oh, this one sees 5, 6, 1, 3, 7, 2. So that's 4, 8, or 9. I don't know. I thought I was getting home with that last discovery, but there's still... No, 5 in row 8. That's here. That means that's not a 5. Now I've got an 8, 9 pair. So the other things left in the row are 6 and 5. There we go. That 6 is giving me a 6 here. I think that may have finished off... Ooh, well, it does finish off all the 6s in the grid when I put one in box 2. That sorts out 1 and 7 in box 2, which is actually finished. First box since 5 to be finished. Now, 9 there. Yes, that's very helpful. 7, 2... Each one of these numbers in column 1 is unwinding other things for me. That is a 4, 8 pair. That's a 3. Let's look up this column. That is a naked 4. Got a 1, 2 pair at the bottom and a 4 there. This is, I mean, I can now say officially, this is an unbelievable puzzle. This is a discovery by James of something that exists and is incredible. Incredible. How could this be? Those 2 cages, that diagonal line and this rule set, and you get this unbelievable thing. This is why Sudoku literally never fails to amaze me, because these patterns become possible. There's a 7, 8 pair. That's 9, that's 3, that's 8. That sorts out the 7, 8 pair. And you end up with this uniquely solvable grid. Oh, I've done something wrong. I didn't get the tick. And this bottom row's got 2 2s in it. I think I've just misplaced 3 and 2 there. So let's see. No, that's not right. Oh, Mark, what have you done? What have you done? Okay, this is where I get the chance to rewind. See where I went wrong. Oh gosh, this is worrying. You probably spotted it when I went wrong. Let's go back to here. 4 had to be there. If I was right at this point, 8, 4, that's 8 in the corner. 8, 5, that's a 9. 8, 5. How is this not working now? That's not a 3, so that is... Ooh, I wasn't trying to put a 3 there before. So that might have fixed the problem. 6, 2, 3, 5, 4. This is an 8, 7 pair. That seems to ring bells. 9 and 1 here. 8 in the bottom row has to be there. That has to be a 2. 7 in the corner, that doesn't ring any bells. That gives me a 7 there. Hopefully this is a better answer. We'll see. Looks all right. There we go. Wow. What a brilliant puzzle by James Kopp. Gilded cages. They are absolutely gilded. I mean, what a discovery. How on earth has he created, or much more appropriately, how has he found that arrangement? Those 2 tiny cages that weren't on their own very demonstrative, but that rule that each digit inside a cage is consecutive with its orthogonally adjacent neighbours outside the cage, and that makes that puzzle. I am blown away. I don't know if Simon knew that through to the finish. He probably did, but I am very glad that was recommended. I have had a ball today. Thank you for following along with me. And thank you as always for watching the channel. Hopefully we'll be back with more genius tomorrow. And I will see you then. Bye for now.